This audio is used for the transcriber test at Go Transcript.
So, Steve, I'd like for you to tell me all about all the stuff that happened to you at work yesterday and all that back and forth stuff you were doing. Or I'll just tape your conversation here.
Okay, with that interruption in mind,
Yes.
that sounded a lot like my days at work with the phone ringing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what was the question again? I get interrupted.
What was all that stuff you were telling me last night that I was looking like I didn't understand, and then you explained it to me, and I really didn't understand it about the stuff you were trying to order
Oh.
or the parts?
Well, the parts orders, I don't remember that, but I remember we had the service technician working on doing a fourth axis installation and having a software compatibility issue between the beta series amplifiers and the alpha series amplifiers, so that he had installed the beta series onto an alpha series machine and it wasn't communicating, so the fourth axis wasn't rotating.
Mm-hmm.
He eventually got it fixed, had to contact FANUC for the part for the software.
So, how do you spell FANUC for our transcribers?
FANUC.
Okay, and what exactly is the what was it again? The fourth axis.
The fourth axis is a rotary axis that's mounted on the table of the machine, such that you can do cylindrical parts or machining on four sides or 4 or 5 sides of a part.
Okay.
With one tool.
Oh. And what's the tool that you would use?
Tools are usually end mills, face mills, drills, reamers.
Mm-hmm.
Basically any kind of rotary tool that will fit in the spindle and do an operation either facing, like milling, or drilling and tapping and threading.
And what are the parts that are the most problematic at this point in time?
Well, as far as the parts, I don't deal with the parts as much. I just fix the machines.
Mm-hmm.
We had a different machine that we had installed a new motor on the Z-axis while the technician was observing, so that we could then see what was wrong. It turned out that that was a parameter issue related to the fact that the ball screw was a 10 millimeter pitch instead of the original, which was 12 millimeter pitch, which required a number of parameters to be changed in order to get the pitch lead to match the programmed distance that we wanted. So for example, if we programmed a 1-inch move, it only moved 0.8 of an inch, which obviously is not 1 inch. So we've got the parameters corrected, so now the program move physically matches the program.
Okay. And what is this machine particularly ultimately going to be used for? What type of work do you do with it?
Excuse me. We manufacture various parts that are used in the manufacture of more complicated equipment. Most of it for military ground support equipment.
So it's a machine for making other machines?
Well, it's a machine that makes parts that are used to build other mechanical units. It can also be a machine making parts for other machines of its own type. A machine that replicates itself, so to speak.
Wow, that sounds kind of scary.
No, because it requires human input to actually make it work. It can't do it on its own.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that interesting interview, and I see that our time is just about up. So is there anything else you'd like to add for the benefit of the transcriber who is listening to this?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This audio is used for the transcriber test at Go Transcript.